and welcome to what are we? Stuck in Beta. I was about to say Beer 30. We just did an episode of Beer 30.
Man, you're off today, Greg.
I am way off.
It's like you got an equilibrium imbalance or something. Nothing's quite going right for you.
Yeah.
We need an additional tech guy here to solve all these problems.
Yeah.
He's on assignment.
Yeah. So, hey, Greg and Josh here. Just the lone, not lone, the two gunmen? I don't know.
I should have brought a sidekick.
Yeah, you could have. Yeah. So, man, it is going to be a show today.
It is,
It's
yeah.
going to be a show.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Woo! What you got for us? I think you,
I was absent last week because I was finishing up some things
I didn't know that.
in preparation for a trip out of town this past weekend. So my wife and I went down to southeast Illinois, about 130 miles away from here, and we stayed in like an old mansion on the banks.
Hold on. Apparently, feedback's awful. Let me check.
Ah, jeez.
Oh, sorry about that.
Gosh, what you got going on over there, Greg?
I turned it all the way down. Oh, I hit the wrong button.
Echo, 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 echo.
All right, we should be good now.
So we were in southeast Illinois in a little town called Golconda. No one's ever heard of it because it has a population of 700, but it is on the banks of the Ohio River, and it's kind of like at the border of where Kentucky and Illinois, and I think what's north of Kentucky, Indiana. I think like all the states come to, you know, the state lines meet right there.
Yeah.
Anyway, small town, kind of out in the middle of nowhere. But Lori found it because she was like, she was on Facebook or something. She saw something about Shawnee National Forest, which is out that way, and it's a lot of like hiking trails and you know, like rock climbing type things and stuff like that. So we had went out there Friday, and we stayed in this this old mansion from like the mid 1800s.
Oh, really? Haunted mansion?
I don't know. I don't think so. I didn't hear anything about that. I don't really believe in that. I mean, we can make the show a whole lot interesting. I can make some stuff up, I guess, but pretty cool place. There's like over 10,000 square feet. Big building. Really neat because it has still a lot of the old original like architecture and stuff. But anyway, on the way out there, we planned the trip so that we drove through Chester, Illinois, and then Murfreesboro, Illinois. And in Chester, we found a place called the Landmark, which is owned by the St. Nicholas Brewing Company.
Oh, yeah.
They're actually
They're nice people. We met them at
the Brewfest here.
Brewfest, yeah.
Festus. Their brewery is actually in DuQuoin, Illinois, and Chester is right on the Missouri River. And it's they had this little place called the Landmark. It was like an old like 3-story building that I think at one time was like a hotel. This thing was like super old, like early 1800s, right along the train tracks, right along the Mississippi River. The Mississippi River is up super high right now, so it's like, I mean, the river was like 20-30 yards away from the building. I don't think it was in jeopardy of flooding or anything like that, but it was like really close. Trains were zipping down at like 70 miles an hour. It was crazy to be like that close to a train. It was going at full speed. But anyway, that was a really cool place. They have really good beer there, really good food, really neat atmosphere, really awesome building that's been completely like rehabbed and has that real old, you know, feel to it. And then we went, drove from, so we were there early in the day. We got there around, I don't know, 1 o'clock, had lunch. And I just made the assumption that we knew we wanted to go to Big Muddy Brewery next, which is in Murfreesboro, and it was only about 45 minutes away from Chester. I just happened to be sitting there at the bar of the St. Nicholas place, the Landmark, and I look at it and it says Big Muddy doesn't open until 4 o'clock, and it's only like 2 o'clock at this point. I'm like, oh crap, we have 2 hours. So we ended up just sitting there for a little while, and I think we split like another beer. And I'm thinking, I'm looking at their hours, and they were only open at the Big Muddy Brewery. In my mind, I thought it was like a pretty large brewery, and I assumed that they had like a big tasting room and possibly like a restaurant or something associated with it, because they're distributed all over here in Missouri. Yeah,
their beers are. It's not like some of the smaller places. It's hard to get their beer. You have to go to the brewery, but we have no problem finding their beers.
Yeah, it's everywhere around here. So they're only open like Friday from like 4 to midnight or whatever, and then Saturday was a little bit longer, and Sunday during the day, which I was surprised. But anyway, we killed some time, drove out there, ended up getting there like 15 minutes early, pull up. And I'll be honest with you, I don't want to come across like I'm complaining or anything like that, but I was really surprised. From the outside looking in, the only thing that let you know that this was a brewery was they had one of those like silo things, I think, out there, and it had their logo. Big Muddy Brewery had that logo on there. There wasn't any other signage or anything, and it was like metal buildings, like metal shed buildings or whatever. There was a few of them. Just not very inviting. We pulled up. I'm like, this is it. I was kind of surprised, and we waited around because we got there a little early. We go in finally at 4 o'clock, and they had a bar there, and they had a few picnic tables. They do all the brewing right there in the building, and so like it was you're basically sitting right there where like all the tanks and stuff are. Right. And they had some of their other beer like for sale by 6-packs, but it just didn't have a very good atmosphere to it. It
wasn't inviting. It just
and it was cold in there, and the door would open, and it would like
they open at 4. They don't turn on the heat all day.
It was a little bit disappointing. Like they've been there since 2009, and I've always heard really good things about them. Just from my point of view, I mean, I don't want to like say anything. I don't want to
have good beer.
They do have good beer. Yeah.
It seems that it's not a exciting place. There's nothing you're missing.
No, not at all.
But you said there's a few. Like, was the s'mores one? You said, was that one just available there?
I think it was just available there in Murfreesboro, and then.
So I mean, there is a reason if you want to get some specialty beers,
right? And there was a few others, that they had that were just locally distributed, but it was.
If you're riding through town, or you just happen to be going towards there, and you just want to load up on beer, and then
it's worth stopping in if you're going through town. And that was the other thing too. It was way outside of town, and we were driving, and we're going through like a subdivision and stuff, and like through a neighborhood. I'm like, what? I'm thinking the GPS is taking us like in the wrong direction. We're gonna end up doing a whole circle and be back on Main Street or something. But that wasn't the case. It was like, it felt like it was way outside of town. But then contrast that with, so we went down there, we had our day down in Golconda, and we were at this mansion that I was talking about, and the people there are really big in the craft beer. There's a family that owns this place, and and wine, and they have this restaurant on the lower level. One of the rooms is like totally stocked with wine, and then they have these two coolers side by side where they say that they have 200 different varieties of beer.
Really?
I'd never seen anything like it. It's kind of like if you were to like put all your beers together that you save up.
I have a few varieties,
but they have like 6, 8, 10, each of each beer that they have. But stuff that I've never heard of.
6, 8, 10 each beer.
And then talking to one of the locals there, he's we were asking him like, what should we do? Where should we go? He started talking about Paducah, and that was not on our trip itinerary or anything, but Paducah, Kentucky was only about 35 minutes away.
Interesting thing about Paducah.
What?
I waited in line there 11 hours to get at a Walmart to get my Wii.
Oh, really?
Paducah, Kentucky.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Do you remember what... I'm completely sidetracked here, but do you remember what how you got across the Ohio River?
So I was over in Missouri. I was in we were in Sykeston, and that was like, it was either, because I wanted to go, I needed a part from Radio Shack.
Yeah.
And I remember Paducah actually being closer than St. Louis.
Oh, okay.
So we're like, well, let's go here, you know. But anyway, I don't remember.
You don't remember?
I mean, that's 2006. That's 12 years ago.
I think there's an interstate that's a little further south that, like, from where we were, the people that were telling us how to get there, they were like, oh, don't go by the GPS because it'll take you through the interstate and you'll go like 20 miles out of your way. He's like, just take this road and then make a left here and then take that to the end and make a right. It'll take you right into the north side of town. And that brewery is like right there.
Right.
So I'm like, okay. So we go. His directions were like absolutely perfect. But what he didn't tell us was this little bitty 2-lane bridge that it went over the Ohio River. And it was the tiniest, width of a bridge that I've ever been on. And
it's just two-way traffic.
Yeah, two-way traffic.
Wow.
I mean, it was wider there than the Mississippi is here, in St. Louis.
Yeah, Ohio gets pretty wide.
Yeah. And so I'm driving and Lori's like freaking out because it's like you're immediately like going up a hill and you can't see
the bridge falling in the water.
No, it says, I'm reading a sign that says steel graded bridge or something like that. I look down, you can see through the bridge into the water. It's just like mesh steel grate. I mean, it was freaky.
It's not like wooden slats together.
It was the longest, scariest drive, and it's only like you can only do like 25 miles an hour across it.
Oh, yeah, then that's probably all you want to do.
Oh yeah, and it's like at least 100, 150 feet above the water. I mean, it was freaky.
Yeah, I don't remember going across that bridge.
You probably went the interstate. Yeah. Well, when we went into Paducah, we went to a really cool brewery over there that guy, the local, had recommended. It was called Dry Ground, and it, by comparison, from Big Muddy, super cool building. An old, it was an old Coca-Cola bottling plant or something that
like Perennial uses.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they had, turned it into some restaurants and this brewery. Really cool place. And the neat thing about them was that they had like a dozen or so of their own beers on tap, but then they also had a half a dozen or so of like guest taps as well. And other local stuff like O'Fallon, and we found stuff like that. And then I sent you guys that picture, found Main and Mill.
On the growler.
The growler, yeah. They had a bunch of growlers on a wall, and they had one of Main and Mill. But that was a super cool place down there in Paducah.
Looks pretty nice.
And Paducah, I've never been there before. Had no reason to go there, but it seemed like a really nice little city. I looked up the population. I think it's only like 25,000. Yeah. And the metro area was only like 99,000. I mean, super small, but very clean. The people all seemed really nice. The one guy was saying, giving us some recommendations on where to eat, and he said, go downtown. He goes, but I don't know, it's going to be pretty crowded down there because I know they're doing Oktoberfest, and he's like, you might have some trouble finding a place to park. And I'm thinking, it's going to be like anything around here that's like a local festival.
Oh, everyone will be there.
Yeah. So we drive down there, and it's like, well, this is crowded to them. I mean, it was not. But their riverfront scene and all that is really cool, and I would definitely go back to Paducah. It seemed like a really cool town.
So this brought to you by the Paducah, Kentucky Tourism Bureau.
Yeah. They paid me to say every bit of that.
I bet they did. Man, speaking of GPS sending you the wrong way, we were on our way back from the pumpkin patch. I'll get to that in a minute. I said pumpkin, didn't I?
You did say pumpkin chunkin'.
Pumpkin patch. It's over in Illinois. And I hit the GPS to go back home. Or actually, we were going to the melting pot, so we were going from there. And
it looks like Tammy just joined us.
Oh, yeah. It was going to take us through East St. Louis, and Molly's like, no, we're not doing that. So yeah,
Well, you're scared of East St. Louis?
I'm not scared of East St. Louis. I just don't belong over in East St. Louis.
Why is that? Because you're from Festus.
Yeah.
I just answer it for you so you don't get yourself in trouble.
Yeah. I'll miss out on that movie role I'm going for. So we took Millie to the pumpkin patch, and that was so. We went over to Belleville, over to Eckert's, and man, that place is crowded. Imagine that, a pumpkin patch right, a week and a half before Halloween. You wouldn't think it'd be crowded,
I wouldn't.
They had apple picking and all that, but the line was so long to get on you go in this little tractor pull hayride thing or whatever to get out to the fields, and man, that took a good, I don't know, half hour to 45 minutes waiting in line.
Oh, geez.
And then once you get to the field, then you pick your pumpkin or apples, and then you have to wait in another line to get back. Well, we decided before we were going to go do apples and then do pumpkins, but we decided let's just not do apples because we're gonna have to wait in line twice then. So
yeah,
we ended up yeah, it was a fun time. I got 4 pumpkins.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
You got some news to share?
News to share?
One pumpkin for each person?
Oh, well, no.
Oh, I was trying to tee one up for you.
No, I don't have any news to share. Man, I wish I had some news about winning the Powerball, or not the Powerball, it was the Mega Millions. Powerball's tonight.
Oh, okay. So you guys, I don't know, there's been a big subject, a big talk, the big buzz about the $1.9 billion.
$1.6 billion.
Okay, so everybody thinks that'd be the greatest thing. My kids, I got 2 kids that are 18 years old or older, and both of them have gone out and bought a couple tickets, and they're like, oh, fired up. What if we win? I do not want that aggravation. There is no way. I think.
Well, if that happens to you, I'll just take your money.
That's exactly right. You would, and so would everybody else. I feel like.
Oh, I wouldn't do that. I would. No.
I feel like everyone would be, not necessarily people that I know, but you would all of a sudden have a target on your back of so many things, let alone.
So, Josh, the car's not doing very well. So I just wanted to mention that. No reason.
Yeah. I mean, everything would be like.
I wish we could pay these bills.
Well, I mean, all those things go through my mind. Like, you would. The safety of your family, ransom kind of stuff. The word would get out there that you have this money. You'd have to move, and then you'd end up in isolation or something because I don't know. It just sounds like just a terrible
Man, you went
situation.
Dark. I didn't even think of that.
Oh God, that's all that I think of. It just seems like it would get so complicated.
So you think that someone would just kidnap the family, and you'd be like, like, we need, this much money.
I've watched a lot of Ozark, I guess. I don't know. Man,
because
I just see it as being a total negative. Like, plus you would have lifestyle creep to the point that you would no longer have any what would you have to work for? You know what I mean?
Well, I get that, but I think it would give you more time. So, okay, you won all that money. Okay, you didn't, but say you did. You wouldn't need to work your 9 to 5, but you could start doing your building furniture and stuff. Things you enjoy more.
I totally agree with that, but I feel like
your kids would be set for college.
That could happen with $1 million.
Well,
though.
True, but I mean, think about how much they'd be set. You'd have like a savings for each of your kids.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't want. So here's the thing too, though. You win all that money. Don't you also want your kids to know what it's like
exactly
to earn their own money?
Exactly.
I don't want them to. I want them to, be comfortable, but I don't want
Yeah, I know what you're saying. You don't want to just hand them stuff and they become spoiled brats.
Right. I want them to still go through college, do what they want to do.
Yeah. Have a sense of purpose in life.
And work for your, and there's always that,
because
at some point.
There's like all those statistics.
I'm the one that's rich. You're not the one that's rich,
There's all those statistics, though, that say that, like, that generational wealth, like, doesn't last, very long. There's all those lottery winners that are idiots and go broke, like, after a couple of years.
That'd be a lot of money to spend.
I know. But the other thing is, like, so Lori says that she would love to, like, start this organization and start that charity and give to this organization and give to that charity, which is all great. But as soon as you start putting your name out there, every single charity, every single organization is going to be hounding the crap out of you.
Your phone wouldn't stop ringing. Your mailbox would be full.
Oh, yeah. You would have to hire an entire staff just to manage, like, your finances, your,
And that's what I would do. I would,
you'd have to.
You'd need a lottery lawyer, basically.
Exactly. And you'd have to move to, you couldn't just, I couldn't just live in my cul-de-sac.
You're moving to Ladue?
No, I'm not saying that I would move to like I would have to kind of isolate and protect myself a little bit more, I feel like, and provide more safety for my family. Seriously.
Yeah.
I mean,
gated community.
No matter how much you try to keep something like that on the down low, I feel like the word would get out.
Oh, there's always, And
it's like Biggie says.
There's always them damn kids that tell your secrets.
Exactly.
What
Isn't it Biggie who says more money, more problems? But I totally feel like that is true. $1 million would be, it's a lot of money, obviously, to a lot of people. Even if it's $2 million and you got $1 million cash or whatever, that would set you up for, I think you could probably set yourself up with that amount of money, but it wouldn't totally disrupt and change your life,
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my take on it.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel that it would make things a lot more comfortable in life.
How much more comfort do you need, though?
Well, I mean, this house I'm not going to be in forever. I don't even
think, but
I could have a house being built and I don't have to worry about a payment on this new house,
right. But again, you don't need I wouldn't want.
No,
I wouldn't wish $1 billion on anyone.
I don't need a 40-room mansion or anything.
I guarantee you, if you want $1 billion, Greg, I'd be like, hey, man, we've been friends a long time. You know what I mean? And everybody would be doing that. And you'd be like, how do I do this? How do I
That's why I don't have many friends. I only have like a small handful, so that's really what
that's hundreds of millions of dollars a piece.
I'm not giving out hundreds of millions a piece. In this theoretical lottery winning,
how much would you give me?
I don't know.
Oh,
I'll give you $500.
This ought to take care of your utilities next month.
You go out, have the fanciest dinner you ever had.
Yeah. In a limo drive on the way there.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just it just seems like a no-win situation to me.
Speaking of balling, we got a new van.
Woo! Look at you.
Oh man. So Molly had a small little car, Focus. We got rid of that. We got a van.
Yeah.
Got a Kia Sedona.
Did you trade it in?
Yeah, we traded in. Got we got this Kia Sedona. It's 2015, fully loaded. It's got everything in it.
Does it have a voice-activated...
It does.
Does it? Really?
It actually does. It has...
That.
The front seats have heating, the seats are heated and cooled, and then the back seats have heating on them too.
I know how you like to have a cool seat.
In the summertime, could you
You're like,
get
dang.
that swamp ass?
Yeah, but that could work to a disadvantage though, man. You can catch a cold that way, go from swamp ass to AC.
Well,
AC
it's
crack.
not gonna.
I have frostbite.
And well, anyway, one of the things I was playing with is the radio, of course, because it's got all the little Bluetooth thingamabobs and all that. And I signed up with Sirius because new radio you get 3 months free. So I'm just in this 3-month free thing. I haven't really signed up. I'm like, there you go, Molly. Now you're all set through Christmas season. You have all your Christmas music channels and all that. And I was having these weird problems where I couldn't see all the channels. Like, I could see some of the channels, but I couldn't see all of the channels. And I didn't know why. And I got with Sirius support, and they're like saying, well, we'll send another signal. Okay, well, I'll see you later. I mean, it was basically they wanted off the... Well, I just got in the chat with them, and that didn't do anything. And apparently today, all of a sudden, Molly says, now all the channels are there. So we're good now. And they got like some update for the radio where you can do Android Auto, where it links up to your phone and does this Android Auto where it has all the Android apps on there.
Mm-hmm.
However, Kia updated something on their site, like the links. So when you click on the link to update, it goes to a broken link. So I don't know.
Gosh,
problems.
Technology.
I know, man. How about that?
Yeah, cool.
So we were going to have a special snack today.
Yeah.
And
it's disappointing.
It's kind
of...
Well, so Burger King has the burger. We talked about it last week. You weren't here, but it's a burger that's supposed to induce nightmares.
Yeah, I read about it. I don't understand how that can be.
I think really what it is if you eat this this huge sandwich with chicken, beef, cheese, bacon, and then go to sleep, you're probably going to have some sort of weird dreams. It may not be a nightmare, but you're going to have some sort of weird dreams. That's probably... But you eat anything, you eat Taco Bell late at night.
For me, it's chocolate.
Really?
If I have a brownie or something late in the evening, man, my brain will go nuts.
Really?
Start combining all kinds of crazy scenarios that happen throughout the day, and I have to avoid anything chocolate late in the evening.
I don't get it from food much, but if I take cold medicine, like NyQuil, man, that'll give me some weird dreams. And I'll have several in one evening. It won't be one dream. It'll be I'll wake up, get back to another bizarre dream.
It almost kind of link from the last one.
It's just
That's pretty wild.
So,
do we have something?
Well, it's
a little something.
Yeah, I guess.
All right.
Cashews, almonds, macadamia nuts. My life began to.
So, I don't think we're gonna be here next week for Halloween. I know we're not gonna be here for Halloween next week unless you do the show without you and Josh do it without me. But
I'm probably I gotta hand out candy and all that stuff.
Yeah. So this is kind of like our Halloween episode. So next week we may not have editor's note. No.
Scheduling note, yeah.
We may not be here next week.
We may, what about, well, no. Yeah.
We'll see. Maybe we can do it on another night or whatever. So, these are caramel apple pops. Now, these have been around for years, so...
Oh, not this bag.
Not this bag. It's not like Werther's where like, this was from when I was a grand... No, well, okay, yeah. Anyway, so they always had these caramel apple pops. They're like caramel on a sucker stick.
I've never had one.
You've never had one?
Is there 3 different flavors?
So that's the thing that's different about this that you normally would see. These have 3 different flavors. They have a green apple, a golden delicious, and a red Macintosh apple. So you can try whichever one you want. These are something that I think they just started with these last year, the different flavors, because Molly picked them up last year. She really likes these.
Probably not the best snack to have while trying to talk, huh?
Probably not, but you know. Yeah.
How do you open these things? They look all melted and...
Well, that's because they're caramel.
Ah. That's...
Do you say caramel or caramel?
Make your leg kick.
Yeah, you gotta like peel it. It's not the easiest thing to...
Huh.
I got it.
Are they supposed to look like that?
Yeah, they're supposed to.
Huh. Gosh, it looks like a piece of glass. It's gonna slice up my mouth.
Anyway, it's gonna take a while to get to it. But they're pretty good.
All right, well, I got the red one. What'd you say the red is? Red
Macintosh.
Red Macintosh. Okay.
I got the Golden Delicious.
All right, we'll see how these do.
So in about 3 hours, we'll tell you how. Yeah.
We'll check back in and let you know how they are. You had a story about another snack as well, right? But we're not going to try it.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. So I don't know if you saw on the news, the news I watch,
which is probably not the news that anyone else watches. It's not. It's not local news.
So
nerd news.
You know, you've heard of the Funko brand where they make all the little figures with the big heads, the little. You've seen the figures like that. They do a lot of comic book characters and cartoon characters and stuff. Well, I went on so there was a Golden Girls cereal that came out. So this Funko has come out with cereals, which, like, there was a Freddy Krueger one, there was a Jason from Friday the 13th, there was Elvira. So they had a bunch of these cereals that came out for Halloween, and I didn't get any of those. Then I heard, hey, there's a Golden Girls cereal.
Golden Girls?
Yeah.
That just seems so incredibly obscure.
I know. That's why I'm like, oh, and exclusive to Target, okay? I'm like, well, we're there all the time because Molly loves Target. So we go there, and I saw the box. The cereal's blue, like blue hair ladies, you know, old lady. And we didn't find it. And I'm like, I looked down the cereal aisle, and then they have like this end cap with all their Funko, their toys or whatever. And I go, it probably was supposed to be there, and it's just not there. And Molly goes, well, what's this behind here? And she reaches behind and pulls out this here, Buddy Elf.
Buddy Elf.
From the Elf movie.
Yeah.
So Buddy Elf cereal.
Tasty treat, fun to eat.
And this is a Target exclusive. Pop figures is what those things are called. Anyway,
multigrain cereal.
He's on it with his maple syrup, and comes with a little mini elf figure and some Buddy Elf figure inside. It says not actual size. I don't know how big it actually is, but I thought that was kind of cool. That I'm like, hey, and she goes, oh, this isn't Golden Girls. I'm like, well, I'll get that one because I'm a little kid still.
get that one now before you hear about it 2 weeks from now.
That's
and
what'll
can't
happen.
Find it.
I'll hear about it 2 weeks from now. Won't find. So
we're gonna try that as we get closer to Christmas.
I mean, how do you try
Or
cereal?
Are you gonna share it?
We've tried cereal on the show before, and I don't know. It really doesn't work too well, does it?
I mean, how well are these caramel apple pops working?
Well, yeah, that's true. Well, this is all I had,
I understand, man. It was a total letdown. You still haven't gotten over that Nightmare King. Isn't that what it's called, Nightmare King?
Yeah, I'm pretty pissed.
She said it was going to be available either tomorrow or Friday. They weren't sure which day.
They said this Monday through November 1st.
Well,
So Burger King's
sorry,
a bunch
buddy.
of liars.
Yep. So you had something about Gwyneth Paltrow?
Oh,
There's these in my Google feed, there's like spoilers about Avengers 4 like every day, it feels like.
really?
There's always something with what's Hulk's his name? Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
Like there's always some story about him saying something.
Yeah, he doesn't like to keep his mouth shut. But then I almost think that maybe it's like that's kind of a thing. Like it may be him told to do this type thing, or I don't know.
Yeah, I can see that.
But so the new person spoiling it is Gwyneth Paltrow. So Avengers 4, we still don't have a name yet. Comes out next May. For those that haven't seen it, you haven't seen it yet?
I have not.
Do you already know the ending and all that?
I don't actually. I have no idea. I think somebody dies or something, maybe, or you're led to believe somebody dies.
Okay.
I think it's
so-
Captain America
so-
because I've seen something about the shield. Anyway,
So I won't. Okay, I'll try and do this without spoiling. I guess this will kind of spoil the new movie, but I bet in the trailer they'll show it, so it won't be a big deal. But I won't spoil the Infinity Wars. So she has to send out pictures from the set of what she's doing. So she's in it looks like an Iron Man costume. Like it's just her, but so people are saying that Pepper Potts, the character that she plays in the comics, is a character in Rescue, and which she has this whole armored suit, Iron Man suit, basically. So that's kind of a spoiler because no one really knew that was going to happen. But I almost am positive we're going to see that in the trailer. Like once a trailer comes out.
don't you think somebody like Gwyneth Paltrow probably has like somebody who's filtering that stuff? Like, do you think that's really like her own like thing that she's doing?
I don't know. I think so.
Really?
Yeah.
When it would come to something movie related, it just seems like they wouldn't have the permission to do stuff like that.
I don't know. Yeah.
Unless it was chosen. You know
Yeah,
what I
that's
mean?
the thing. Maybe so a lot of these leaks and stuff are like when it's from the actors, it may be intentional to bring buzz.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Even
yeah.
though
keep it.
this next movie has I think they can literally get away without all they gotta do is give a date. They don't have to have a trailer or anything, and I think people will go.
It doesn't have a date. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's in May. I forgot the date in May, but they don't have the name. It's right now it's just Avengers 4.
Is it going to be the last one?
Probably not. They'll probably have another Avengers movie, but well, there's a lot of contracts up, so there'll be different characters, I'm sure.
Oh.
But I don't know. I really like a lot of these stars. I think yeah, you're right. They probably have something in their contract saying do not get
So the new Daredevil season was released last week, and I have yet. No, I haven't been able to watch a single episode yet. I really want to.
That's season 3.
Yeah, I think so.
Man, I'll have to say that I'm so far behind.
Oh man. Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
I think the last thing I watched. So I've gotten into season 2 of Daredevil, but I haven't watched them all. And the same with Punisher.
Really?
I've only watched, yeah.
That's the best. So Lori and I were on our way home this weekend, and we were talking about shows and stuff, and that's when we found that one got released on Friday, and we were trying to find dates for Stranger Things, and she couldn't find it anywhere. I thought that
Summer.
Is it really?
I think it's going to be summer.
I thought at one time I saw that it was going to be in October, and it was a while ago. I thought we'd actually talked about it at one point, and it totally makes sense for that show to be released in like October. It just has that spookiness to it.
The last couple seasons, well, the first 2 seasons were in October, and they showed that little teaser or whatever, and it was for the mall.
Yeah.
And it said coming summer of next year, something like that. Mm-hmm. So people are kind of thinking, oh, maybe they mean the show's going to come out then too,
right.
And it'll be based during summertime.
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird that those shows that, I mean, it's been a long. That will have put it at close to 2 years then, right, in between seasons. If you said it was last summer. Oh no, last October.
Yeah, so a year and a half. I mean,
almost 2 years. I don't know what the last date was, but
sometimes these shows that have bigger budgets take longer, and especially like these kids were no-name actors, and now they're ending up in lots of different shows now. Not shows, movies.
Right.
So could be scheduling thing too.
Yeah. I don't know.
Because you get a contract with one of these big movie studios, suddenly your contract with Netflix, you're like, I'm doing this, I can't really do this, so you're gonna have to wait.
What else?
There's a Halloween episode. You've watched the Goldbergs before. I don't think you're a regular watcher, but
I've seen like minutes here and there, but that's about it.
I really like that show, but what's his name? Robert Englund is going to play Freddy Krueger on the Goldbergs tonight. So
what time is that on, and what network?
That is on ABC, and I'm trying to think if it's on at 7 or 8. I can't remember which it is.
Is ABC channel 30 here locally?
Yes, it is.
I don't watch a whole lot of TV.
I can't remember since they switched it back in 1992.
I honestly don't know if I've ever
2
watched
and 30
anything.
Switched.
Couldn't tell you the last time I watched anything on ABC. Is Fox has that Tim Allen show now, right?
Yeah.
And I saw the preview for that, and it was going to be like a Halloween special, which they always did really good Halloween specials on Home Improvement.
What the heck is the name of that? Last Man Standing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good times.
Yeah, that's all I got.
So, hey, what do you think about our buddy here on the radio? You know?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
He stopped showing up here, but
yeah,
big star now, and he.
Yeah, our third wheel here is he's got an official
third wheel. That's what you're calling it.
Is that a mean
That's
statement?
a negative term.
Oh, our partner, our amigo, he's on the professional radio, on AM radio.
On the professional radio.
Yeah.
He's on the AM radio.
I never listened to it live, but I listen to the podcast whenever I remember. Usually, like, he'll throw out like a reminder of some sort, and I go, "Oh yeah." He does a really good job with it. He seems really prepared.
Yeah.
He one thing he a slight negative, I'll say, and Frank Opinion always has called him out on it. Is he coughs a lot? Did you hear that on the last one?
No, I didn't notice that.
He said, "Yeah, you guys got that cough button there or something," because he kept coughing. But then he played that prank on him too, where he said you can push that button and then it's and it said something about but it does like pick up on your gas sounds or something like
your
that.
chair.
Yeah, your chair sounds, but
It's when it or whatever.
Yeah.
No, I thought he did that. He said you're in a chair that does lie detection.
Oh yeah.
Or whatever, and it makes and I don't know.
Yeah. Something like that.
Oh man. Well. Oh, you're having issues with play music.
Yeah, tech news, I guess. Yeah.
We don't have anything.
So since I've been listening to the podcasts really like regularly over the past couple of years, I've always used Google Play Music, and it works really well. It's pretty simple. You don't have to navigate through a whole lot of stuff. I've always felt like it was lacking with some functionality, like it didn't give you any kind of recommendations or anything like that based on things that you listen to. But it was good enough. It was simple to use, and all of a sudden last week it stopped like giving me like updated new episodes of the podcasts that I listened to. They weren't showing up. So at one point I was like, wow, like none of these shows have had a new episode in the last week.
Yeah, it's not like there was a big holiday or anything.
Right.
Yeah.
So I went out and I like kind of looked on the website of one of the shows and saw that they have had 2 episodes since then. I'm like, what the heck is going on? I tried to like refresh my Google Play. I tried to do a bunch of things and it wouldn't work. So I just said to heck with it. And I'd been hearing from another podcast, one of the podcasts that I listen to regularly. It's called Poor Not Poor, and it's 2 guys and they're talking about beer, and they talk about personal finance stuff. So it's 2 of my favorite subjects, and I learn a lot from them. But they've been recommending this podcast player called Castbox, Castbox. So I downloaded that, and it's really easy to use, and like every podcast is out there available. I mean, I found our podcast on there. The cool thing about it is it tells you how many people are subscribed to the to any particular podcast, and then like how many times it's been listened to. So I was the 3rd person to
You mean
subscribe?
like the 3,000 out of 1,000, right?
Oh yeah,
3,
thousands, thousands. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was the 3rd person to subscribe, and there was already 2 others, which it wasn't you and it wasn't other Josh. So we at least have 2 people out there that have subscribed to Stuck in Beta on Castbox, on that app, and listened to at least 50 episodes. So that was kind of cool. But it's a nice software. It also gives like tons of recommendations based on like things that you're listening to. It tells you like, hey, if you like that, then these are similar.
Yeah, that is lacking from the Google Play.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few others. I use Podcast Addict, and there's a couple others, but I've just been using Podcast Addict.
I've heard iTunes is really bad, but I've never used that.
Well, I mean, you don't have an iPhone, so.
Right.
Well, I don't have anything else. Do you?
I guess that's it.
Man, we have wrapped it up early.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
No, so
Good show.
yeah, and I want to keep live after we do the outro because I gotta do something. Okay.
Okay. Stay tuned, folks. If it's
So
a murder
anyway-
or something, then
So no, we're not doing anything like that. So anyway, join us here. Go ahead and subscribe if you don't. If you need a podcast player, use Castbox or iTunes or whatever, and subscribe to the show. Also on YouTube and all the rest. So that is it. We will see you next time.
See ya.
Bye. So, guys, we had some feedback at the beginning of the show, so we're gonna do a quick record of the intro just so we have it on the audio version. So go ahead. Hey everyone, welcome to Stuck in Beta. I'm Greg.
And I'm Josh.
And we have got a show for you. Okay, that's probably good. So, yeah. So anyway, guys, we'll see you next week.